Thank you all so much for joining today. It is a beautiful and slightly overcast day here today in Oklahoma, where I am at. I am here in Zone 7 in Oklahoma City, and yeah, I've been planting a whole bunch out there. Hopefully, you all have had some time to get out there and enjoy, hopefully, some beautiful weather, depending on where you all are at. Looks like a few of you have some beautiful weather where you are. Welcome, everybody. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Carrie. My husband Dale and I are the creators of the Seed to Spoon app. We started gardening back over 10 years ago now, if you can believe it. I feel like the time has just flown for me. But this was our backyard back whenever we first started gardening, and we had just a regular Oklahoma backyard, just filled with Bermuda grass and nothing there. You can see our first couple of little gardens over there in the corners. And then over a couple years, we ended up turning them over to like so many gardens. Like we took over the entire yard pretty much of just a bunch of fruits, vegetables, herbs, and everything like that. And it's just been, it's been a fun ride ever since. So neither one of us had ever really gardened much before. And we both just dove headfirst, like right in. We're like, let's do it. And learned so much along the way. But I really wished that there was an app for it whenever we first started. And I was like, man, I really wish that I had one place I could like log my plants. I could see the planting dates and all of that all in one place. And Dale was like, well, why don't we just make it ourselves? So here we are today. It's been exciting. Here, let me pop up the QR code too. So if you guys have not downloaded the app yet, oh, it's up here. Scan that QR code right there and check it out, because it is seriously my favorite thing out in the garden. I know I'm a little partial, right? But still, like I use it all the time. I use it every single day out in the garden. Dale always makes fun of me because I'm literally chasing him down. I'm like, "Oh, what are you planting? I need to log it in the app," and all of that. So we had a fun ride. I'm always using it, but yes, exactly. There's an app for that now. Woo. um Anyways, today I thought it would be a great day to go through, answer all of your questions that you guys might have about the app, kind of just show you how I go about using the app, how I get started with it all of that. And also, like, if you guys have any questions along the way, suggestions, or if there's a plant you want to see added or a pest you want to see added, like all of that, like, please feel free, pop it into the comment section too. Plus, the more you do comment into the chat, the more you'll get entered in to win our giveaway. So today we're going to be giving away a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. So this will give you unlimited plant identification from Growbot and pest identification. You can also send pictures over to Growbot as well for like health checks. You can be like, hey, what's wrong with my plant? Or how does my plant look today? And it'll tell you if you need to do anything. Super helpful. I love it. Also, with yearly subscription, you get free shipping on every single order that you place through Park Seed. So that is something that is super helpful right there too. And you'll also get unlimited plants and gardens and all of that you can do throughout the app. So super exciting and great features. And we'll talk all about it too today. Yay, I have somebody else out there in Oklahoma. Hi. Yeah, so like I said, if you have any questions at all, pop them into the chat and I will be popping them up. Super informal. We're just going to hang out and chat, and I'm going to show you all the app. And if you guys have any questions, pop them in. And anyways, so about the giveaway too, I go live every single Tuesday. If you were not aware, every Tuesday talking some sort of gardening topic or about the app or something, all of that. And so I do giveaways every week too. So last week, so we do a giveaway during this live stream and then after the fact too, because I feel bad not everybody can join live. So I want to make sure that people watching after the fact are able to join in too in the fun. It's exciting, right? So if you are watching this after the fact, you still have a chance to win. You just need to comment to after the fact. And you'll be entered in to win there. So, anyways, from last week, I drew an after the fact winner, and it was congratulations to Danny. So this was her comment. So Danny said, "I love all the plantings in smart pots." Yes, I use smart pots all the time. If you guys aren't aware what those are, well, she kind of said fabric pots. So they're fabric raised beds. I use them in my garden all the time. I'll show you guys some pictures here in a minute. But she said, "I'm using some fabric pots this year as well, but I'm not sure how to deal with them in the app. Could you show us how you use these single pots listed in the app?" Okay. So, I mean, I think that that's a great place. And I will show that here, Danny, don't you worry. And we'll talk about that here shortly as we're going through. So, anyways, welcome everybody. I'm trying to go through, make sure I get all of your questions as I'm going through. And if I haven't, if you guys leave a comment, I'm going to like kind of star them too if it's something that I know I'm going to be talking about here in just a little bit. So I will be popping them up too. Yay! Welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are all here. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so let's pull up here the Seed to Spoon app. And I kind of just wanted to take you along the Seed to Spoon app, kind of like how I pull it up on a daily basis. So, first of all, if you are somewhere who hasn't had a frost yet, or well, you haven't had your last frost yet, you will still see a little countdown right there. But I am one of the lucky ones. I'm sorry to rub it in if you aren't, but I don't have the countdown anymore because I am past my last frost date. It's very exciting, right? And I'm sorry if you're not. But right here, you can come in here, and this is kind of just like a main dashboard. So this is kind of like your main, like be all and end all, like there's everything on this screen. So this is your main navigation page. So up here, if you click into here, there's a bunch of different growing guides that you can click into, and we'll go more into these later. But up here, there's also weathers tab. There's critters over here. So you can kind of click in and find some tips for critters and all of that. And then right here, there's some robot robot things too. So these right here are premium features. So if you are sending pictures into Growbot, that's where these will take you. Because you can take a picture of just like we were talking about earlier. So like identifying a plant, if you planted something, or if you're like out on a walk and you see a plant that you really like, and you're like, "Oh, I want to plant that in my garden." You can just snap a picture, send it up to Growbot, and Growbot will let you know what it is. But those are premium features since you're sending up pictures to Growbot. But if you tap on Growbot at the bottom here, you can also go through and ask Growbot some text questions. So if you are on the free version, you can still take advantage of Growbot and do 3 free questions a day. So definitely take advantage of that. Super helpful because you can ask anything from like right here, what tomato varieties do well where I live. So it'll pull up because it knows where I am. It says in Oklahoma City, here's some really good varieties. So yes, I actually agree. Like these are all amazing varieties, and I think I'm growing every single one of them this year. So yes, thank you, Growbot. Here, let me click back over really quick. The bad thing is when I'm on the other screen, I can't see y'all's comments pop up or anything like that. So I promise I will get back over to you. I will keep coming in and out and all of that. Okay. Okay, so also there's the visual garden layout here, which again, we'll go into more detail here in just a minute. And then I really like this feature too. So it's trending plants. So like it really helps me think about what other people are doing in their garden too. So I'm like, I go through here and I'm like, ooh, I haven't planted out my, actually I have planted, I think every single one of these right now, but you know what I mean. I would go through and I'd be like, oh, cucumbers. Oh, I haven't thought about that. I need to be planting those out or anything like that. It just kind of helps see what's trending around and what other people are doing. I love this Let's Grow section. This is probably one of my favorite things to do because within the app, whenever I come in, I always go straight to this. I'm like, okay, what can I plant right now? I'm heading out to the garden. What can I do? So I just scroll through here, and this is everything that you can plant in your area. So how we get these dates are like it's completely unique for every single one of you, and it'll pull whenever you first download the app. It'll ask if you can use your location, and then it'll pull from that location of where you are, and it'll go to the closest weather station, and it'll guess like the approximated last frost date based on like the last 100 years of data or something like that. And it will go through, calculate it out exactly for you. So whenever you click into these, like it'll give you exact planting dates, like right here. So this is for Oklahoma City because that's where I am, and it'll say like which dates I can be planting them indoors, when I can start planting them outdoors, and all of that. So like I said, super helpful. That's probably my favorite thing about the app because I can literally never remember like what the last frost date is, first of all. And then I'm like, okay, how many, like I need to do math now, 8 weeks before, or like, oh, yeah, don't have to do that anymore. So this will tell you everything that you can plant now, which is exciting. And then also there's a plant soon. So sometimes there's things that are coming up really soon. So you can plan ahead and go ahead and look at those and be like, ooh, which actually this does tell me I do need to order my sweet potatoes. So yes, thank you. So yes, this plant soon area right here, super helpful because it can help prep you and be like, yes, help make sure I have the seeds and my sweet potato slips because I need to go through and order that. Over here, you can kind of see those dates at a glance too in a visual way. And this right here is one of those premium features as well too. So if this is blanked out for you, just on the free version, but this is what you're missing here. So it's kind of just showing you like what dates. So these are the start and doors. Like you can kind of go through and see just at a glance the time frames for when you can plant certain things. And then also, so here we are today at this live workshop. So you'll see that in the app right here. So you can always hop in here and tap that and come visit me again. And then also over here we have garden bed themes. So with the free version, I believe you all get I don't remember which themes there are, but we let you see a couple so that way you kind of know what the feature is. But essentially it's just you tap into it and it will go through and give you some good varieties in all of that for like a really good idea of a garden bed to plant out. So something fun there. And then this is one of my favorite features too, as well. I love this grow for health section. So whenever we first started gardening, this was why we started gardening in the first place, was to help with anxiety and depression and all of that. So it was really important to us to be able to like look into this and grow for our health essentially. And plus like I was a nurse in my previous life before I did all of the plant stuff now that you see me do. So this is something that's like near and dear to my heart. I love the grow for health section. So if you come in here, you can just tap on one of these and it will take you into that growing guides list that I showed you earlier with that filter in place. So all of these are ones then that will be really good for mental health. So it's just something that's really good, like super helpful. I really like that section. So yeah, and then we have like links to the blog and our social media, all of that, which I am on multiple times a day, like all day, every day. So if y'all want to see what's going on in our garden, come check us out. Okay, here, I'm popping back into the chat to see if there is anything real quick before we go back in. So I see we had a question too about adding more fruit trees. So pop a comment in here. Let me know what fruit trees you want to see added. We do have a few fruit trees. Like we have like apple trees right here. I think I have, there's like apricots. I have like a few different random things, avocados. I believe I even have like peaches and pears and all of that. So all of these that you see are ones that I've entered. So that's why I usually can remember most of what I add in. Pears, yep, there's pears too. So let me know if there's something in particular too that you're wanting to see, and I'll make sure I star that and I will add it to my list. Let's see. Sorry, it takes a bit to like kind of go through and catch up to where I was. Um, okay. I see some of you asking about green stocks, so I will talk about green stocks here in just a moment too. So okay, so I will kind of, now that I kind of gave you like an overview of like that main dashboard area and kind of what to expect there. So how I usually go about doing this, I will show you my gardens here. So I will come in here. Um, so if you are new to the app, you won't obviously have this garden bed set up already. But how I have this go, like you can see all of my gardens that I have. You can say that we are a little obsessed. I do grow a lot here. Let me see if I have a recent picture of our garden. Um, I mean, this is kind of like this is one area of our garden here, and then here's another with our bunch of wooden raised beds that we have. So, well, this kind of will show you. So, this right here for our wooden raised beds is kind of like what I have here. So, my bed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, we have 12 wooden raised beds that are lined up right there. So I have them like numbered. I know which one's which. So whenever I come into the app, I can see them all at a glance. So that really helps me stay organized. And because if I had like all of them on one bed, I mean, you technically you can make a garden that's like huge. I don't remember what the max is, what we maxed it out to. We'll see it here in a minute. But um, we'll make a new bed here for live stream. You can make it up to 30 feet by 30 feet. So, I mean, yeah, as you can see, like that gets unruly real fast for me at least. Like I I definitely wouldn't be able to look at that. So, I much prefer having all of mine out like this. So, I have like my bed one. So this is my one bed. It's a 4x8 wooden raised bed. I have all of these things planted in it. And then like I can just go through and I'm like, oh, here's my next one right here. Here's my next one. So I can kind of just go through and see like what I'm planting and where. Super helpful. Yeah, way better than having it all like this. But I understand some of you do kind of want to see it like all plotted out together. That's perfectly fine too. Like if that's the way that you want to do it, that's just not how my brain works. So that's how I work around there as well. Um, and anyways, oh, which brings me to I can come in here. So you guys kind of saw how I came in here and created it too, and I selected the length and width and all that. But if I ever want to come in here and change and just resize it, I come up here to these three dots over here, over to the right of the name of the garden bed, and I can come in here and I can resize this garden. So if I made a mistake or if I'm adding space, like I do often with my smart pots areas, and I can come in here and I can make it bigger or smaller if I want to too. So I can make this like a 6x3 instead, and it automatically changes it over to that. Now, if you did have like a bunch of plants that were logged in there, it is just going to move over here to the list view and instead, because it doesn't know quite exactly where you want to put the things that weren't on the grid before. You know what I mean? So it just puts them over here. So you can just pop them over here by just simply tapping. You could go over here to existing plants, and if you had other plants there, like they'd pop up right there for you to add back in. Yeah, so hopefully that helps too a little bit. Okay, so I see a lot of questions about grow bags, so in containers and all of that. So let me show you how I handle that. So I have, let me see. I was doing this yesterday as I was out in the garden because I'm, like I said, literally out in the garden like all day, every day. Um, so I have this area which I need to add more space to this too because I was literally planting this out yesterday and planting it. But this is actually two garden beds together that they were just two round raised bed smart pots, if you know what I mean. Here, let me show you a picture of the sizes that I'm talking. So they look kind of like this. So these fabric round raised bed smart pots, I love them. So I put a couple of them grouped together, and each one has approximately like four on each because that's just kind of the space that it has there. And I put two of them together there, so I have a 4x4 and a 4x4 there. That's kind of how I handled it. Another area that I do have a bunch of smart pots is right here too. So I have a trellis that we actually just built yesterday, and we put a bunch of smart pots up against it. So I have this area that I just made this garden yesterday, and so you can see like I haven't like fully planted it out and all of that because we just made it. But this again, like each one I have representing like its own container, if that makes sense. Another one, ooh, I do have like this one, which is I have a trellis right here, right in the middle, actually. So this is one of my arch trellises that I have. So I have this side over here on the left representing the side on one side of the trellis, and then this side over here is on the other side of the trellis. So and again, like each one of these squares is representing its own smart pot square. So because I have each container here, let me pull up a picture so you can kind of see. I don't have a picture of that location, but you can kind of see like I have these large smart pots right here. I have it just the same in this garden. So these like little smart pots right here I have up against an arch trellis, and each one of those is like considered its own little square. So that's kind of how I go through and have it. I also have like a row of potato smart pots that I have yeah, right here. So quite literally it's just a row of smart pots that I have like on the edge of my garden because potatoes don't tend to play well with a lot of my plants that I grow. So I have just a bunch of these potatoes, and I planted a couple different varieties out. So I have like these ones are all the German butterball, and these ones are the Austrian crescents, and these ones are the purple majesty. So like that way, like I can just look at it and be like, okay, that's that, that's that, that's that. So yeah, a couple different ways there to kind of go through. Hopefully that helps answer the question there for how I handle that containers, at least right now. Um, Yay! I'm so glad to hear that Sonia was saying my gardens have never been better since using the app. Highly recommend it, especially if you're new to gardening. It's like having a garden consultant in the palm of your hand. I love it. Yep. That's honestly exactly what I do because every time I have a question, I always just pop up the app and I look up and I either look it up there and yeah, something along there. Um Let's see. Carol says, Growbot says zinnias are an enemy to carrots. A lot of volunteer zinnias came up in my carrot bed. Well, the carrots taste different. That's interesting. So I actually, I didn't know that are zinnias enemies to carrots. If so, what is the issue? Let's find out. Oh no, it says they're be good together. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't think of why they wouldn't be. Um, Maybe it was something else that we were thinking of there. But yeah, zinnias and carrots are good to plant together. Like I have zinnias growing in a lot of my beds. In fact, like yesterday I came in, I have this bed of a bunch of different peppers and tomatoes, and I had some marigolds and onions and some herbs in front. And I was like, I have a couple little open spots throughout here. I was like, I have some little miniature like zinnia seeds that I saved from last year. Like I'm gonna just go through and sprinkle them throughout here because zinnias, as long as they're not like shading out your other plants, like they're really beneficial to have a lot of them because they bring in a bunch of pollinators. They're super helpful and like yeah, I love zinnias. I'm a huge fan. So okay. Oh yes, this is a good call out because yes, I did see somebody asking a lot about green stalk towers, and that is something too that I get a lot of questions about because like I grow a lot of green stalks too. Like I'm looking at one right now in my right here. We have here. Let me pop up a picture. So I have several of these right here in the sunroom that I'm sitting right next to. And so the way that I go about, just like Yvette says right here, doing like a 6x5 because it's like a six tower and then a five around. So like it's kind of a way to like go through. One also thing that I do too is let's see, here's my pink green stalk. So I actually tend to plant like the same thing along the rows. So like I will have one row of one thing. So I have like cilantro on this row and then I have like flowers over here. You know what I mean? So like this is the top and then it goes all the way down here to the bottom, if that makes sense. Um, so I do that as well. But also like just doing this and then having like, you know, how many deep it is to like however works best for you and however you plant your green stalks, that works great too. Um, yes, I need to go back and revisit that too because that was super helpful whenever I looked at that. But I have not gotten the chance to go through and make any app updates for green stocks. But I love that suggestion, and yes, I will be coming back to that for sure because green stocks and smart pots and all that are definitely ones that I want to make it easier to grow with in the app because I use them all the time too. So for sure. Um, so something else I wanted to do too. So I can actually just go in and log this because so yesterday I was out in the garden whenever we were planting and all that. I did go through and fertilize, and I haven't logged it in the app yet, so we can do it together. So I was coming in and doing each one of these right here. So one super helpful thing is the fact that you can come in here and you can log events for your plants that you have planted in. And so, like for this, like there's automatically ones that come up like transplanted, sprouted, watered, fertilized, pest, rainfall, harvested, or other. So you can have any sort of event that you want, but I'm going to come in here and tap fertilized because I did fertilize. And actually, the event date was yesterday that I did that. So I'll hit done. And then I will just type in Espoma because I used Espoma fertilizer and hit save. So now to go back in and see that. So if I'm, say in a couple weeks from now, I'm like, oh, when did I go in and fertilize again? Is it time? There's a couple different ways that you can go through and see it. So you can just, again, tap on the plant and you can tap on the plant again right here. And it will show you all of your things right here. So like this will be all of your events right here. And then there's also a way to, if you are down here, you can just tap this log event again. Or no, I was thinking notes. Over here for notes. So if there was something, so the other day, I can show you here one really good. It was bed 11, yes. So we just planted this clematis out. It's so pretty. You guys will love it. I will show you. This is a picture of it right here. But whenever you're doing notes or anything like that, if you tap on it right here, it'll say up here, you have free notes for this plant. So I can go in, view all notes. And over here, it will show like the notes and also the pictures and all that. So I took a picture of the plant tag too, so I could remember like what variety it was and like all of this information and all of that. So I put all of that right there. And I took a beautiful picture of it because I was like, this is so beautiful. I loved it. So I had to do that too. But again, like the same way you look at notes is the same way for events. You can also just tap it again too. And you can scroll down, or you can just tap this log events or photos and notes, and you'll see it all right there. Um, One thing I want to show you too, because we actually didn't have clematis in the app yet, which I was like, oh, I need to put this in the app. But in the meantime, what I needed to do was add a custom plant. So whenever I came in here, I just tapped one of these plus buttons, and I tapped this add custom plant right here. And if you are doing seeds, like a seed packet or something along those lines, you can actually just tap this scan seed packet, and it will scan the seed packet. You'll take a picture of the front and the back, and it will automatically put in all of the information in there for you that you need, which is super helpful. You can also, so for me, since this was a transplant, I just did enter manually, and you can come in here and just type in all of this information. So if you scanned the seed packet, it brings you to this same screen as well, but it already has everything entered in for you that you need, which is awesome. But yeah, so that's one way to go through and add a plant that's not already in the app. So for me, it was clematis. Whenever I first came to it, whenever it's a custom plant, it's just like a basic little like sprout icon, but I wanted to make it look pretty and wanted to make it like more accurately represent what was actually planted here. So whenever I came in here, you can tap it, and you can tap this more button right here, and you can actually tap this change plant icon. So on here, I had taken a picture of it, and I just selected this one right there. So now it is that picture. So that's something that's super fun, unique that you can do. So like if I wanted to, I can change this one over here. So this one right here, if I wanted to change it, I could just hit more, change plant icon, and I can change it to one of these like tomato ones, or I can add a new photo. I can take a picture of it and have it be like an accurate picture of what it looks like in the garden right now. Of like just take something from the internet too, because you can just hi. You can also just add something, from wherever you are using it. So yeah, so that's one of my favorite things to do. Another thing too, if you want to, so I have a lot of the times, let's see, where do I have a good example of this? So right here, this is a good example because this is a huge biodome of basil that I planted out. And a lot of them, like they're different varieties, all that. This is a good one. So this is a purple ball basil. If I hit more, I can actually just go through it, change the background color to purple. And there we go. Now it's a little bit easier for me to see like at a glance, like, oh, this one right here was the purple ball basil. So it's kind of, those are just some fun, unique things that a lot of people don't necessarily know about or don't see often that I like to do a lot in my garden. Very, very helpful. Great question here from Malia. Okay. So Malia says, when you start multiples of a single variety in the biodome, do you add them as individual plants if they will eventually go into different beds? This is a perfect example, and I will show you exactly how I do this. So in here, so whenever I'm first logging them, well, here, let me take a step back. So whenever I first start seeds, I always come in here and I create a new garden bed and live stream seed starting. There we go. And up here, instead of garden bed, I will either do the Park Seed Biodome, which is my favorite way to seed start. I absolutely love the Park Seed Biodome. Makes it effortless. It really does with the sponges. And you can come in and you can select which sizes, like 18, 40, or 60 cell, and it'll show you like exactly what it looks like. Or you can come in here, do a seed tray, and you can, again, select the seed tray size. So you can either select like one of these automated, or you can do a custom size too. So we'll just do one of these basic seed trays right here for today. So whenever I'm going through, I will seed start and I'll be like, okay, I'm planting basil here, 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 here. So I do that to make it a whole lot faster. And these are all the same one essentially because they're all planted together. I'm not going to be treating one of them any differently than another. So whenever I come in here and log events, makes it a whole lot easier because I can just water them and now every single one of them shows watered. So if that makes sense. So whenever I'm seed starting, I absolutely do that. And I put all of my events here. I say fertilized. Yes, all done. Woo. And then it shows up for every single one of them. Whenever I go through and plant these out now, and I mean, typically for me, yes, I'm going to be planting these in a bunch of different garden beds. And no, you don't need to completely like restart them or anything like that. All you need to do is go down here to more and hit split plant into multiple. So, and then I always say yes, copy to all, because this notification is asking if you want to take all of the plant notes and everything like that. So like all of those events that I logged just now. So the watering and the fertilizing, if I want that to stay with my plants. So that way I can keep track and still remember and all of that. So I'm going to hit yes, copy to all. So now when I come in, each plant is its own individual plant. So I can come through, and this is great for transplanting time. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm taking this plant right here. I'm gonna hit more. I'm gonna move plant to another garden. And I'm gonna go down to this live stream one that I made earlier. And I'm gonna move it into this garden bed that we made. So I'm gonna transplant it over here. So I can tap, put it right there, confirm. And so now I have this plant that shows exactly, it should show all of my previous information and all of that. See, it still shows watered and fertilized on the date that I planted it. All of that information, all the history is all still there. And then, but whenever you come back to here, it'll show, hey, that you have an empty space there because you transplanted it out to the garden. So I do this all the time because whenever I seed start, like I put them all together just to make it a little bit easier. And then I split it into multiples and then transplant them out whenever it is time for them to be transplanted. So hopefully that helped answer that question too. One other thing too that I thought of too while I was doing this. So if I do have all of these separate like this, or I have like a bunch of different plants logged, but I want to log that I watered all of this, the entire tray, because obviously like whenever I seed start, like that's how I'm going to do. So if you come over here to list view, I mean, this is another way too. You can just kind of see like how many plants you have and all of that. But come over to list view and tap this 3 buttons right here and say log event for multiple plants. And right here, you'll come in and be like, okay, so I watered. And then you can either select which ones you did it, or you can select all, and hit next, and save. So super helpful. Again, so for me, I can come in here. This was my garden bed I was showing you guys earlier that I fertilized. So I can come in here and actually just make this really easy for myself. Log event for multiple plants, fertilized. And now I'm actually, instead of select all though, because I didn't go through and do everything, I just did these peppers and tomatoes. So everything else I did not. So hit next and then hit espuma. And I'm going to change the date also because that was yesterday. And I'm going to hit save. So now whenever I go in, it should show, even for all of these ones, it should show that I fertilized with espuma on this date. So that's something that's super helpful for me because I go through and like, I typically, whenever you water like the entire bed at a time, or if you had rain, like we actually did get some rain this morning, so I can log that event here too. So again, list view, those 3 dots, log event for multiple plants, rainfall. And I'm going to select all because all of them got rain and hit next. And I don't know how much rain we got because I didn't, but I mean, if you have a rain gauge, you can absolutely pop that in there, but I'm just going to say, hey, it rained. So yeah. So now when I come in here, it will show rainfall for today. So yeah, that's just something that's super helpful that you can just do, makes it go a lot faster for us. Okay, let's see what other questions I've gotten here. Let me look at some of these. So Alyssa's asking, I have some irregularly shaped raised beds. Is there a way to create beds that aren't standard square rectangle shape? So unfortunately, at this time, there is not. But I mean, kind of how I do it. Let me I'm trying to think. So I do have like these ones over here. No, which one was it? Oh no, it actually was this one because so this trellis right here doesn't have smart pots going all the way to the end. So I kind of just have like some open areas. So I mean, it's totally up to you how you want to represent that. But typically, like what I would say to do is just kind of, this is a good example because in my sunroom, it's definitely irregularly shaped. So I have like some open spaces because this is like, here, my sunroom too. So this is like right here. I have a wooden raised bed, and then I have some hanging pockets on the side of it for these. And then I have some pots in front. So I kind of just have it, I have a larger area, and then I kind of just like put it where I have my containers, if that makes sense. And then I have like, I mean, I don't have anything right here. Like that's just kind of like walkway right here. So I just have it blank open space. So hopefully that helps. I know I wish there we'll come up with a better way to represent that. But for now, that's kind of what we got. So Harry Warp was asking, is there a way to view what was planted where in the past for crop rotation purposes? So whenever you come in here, so it will show, so whenever you come back in and you want to, here, let me do this to one of my test ones. So when you come in here, you can at the end of the season be like, okay, I'm all done. I'm cleaning out this garden. I'm replacing it, but you don't want to necessarily delete it because it has like all of your varieties, your notes, and things like that in it. So you can just come down here to Archive Garden, and yes, so now you have a nice fresh seed starting area or a garden bed and all of that. But you can still come in here. You can still see all of the plants that were in there. Now, if you do want to remember exactly where they were, you will need to come in here and use like this planting location notes, because that's kind of how I handle it. So I say like front corner or something along those lines. Like I'll have that saved there. So that's kind of one way to go through and see, but you can still see like all of your events that you logged on there, and you can still see all of your notes and everything like that. So if you have something signifying where it was in the garden bed too, that'll be super helpful for you. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to go through and read comments and everything too at the same time, and see if I have any new questions. Let's see. Yeah, I do like that idea. I need to do that. And I think that that's totally doable. So thank you for that suggestion. It's perfect. Okay. Let's see. I saw that I had a couple other questions. So from Charlotte. So what do y'all do for snakes in your garden? I have one and it's keeping me out of my garden for fear of snakes. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlotte. So I'm sorry, but so snakes are actually helpful in the garden. And I know that that is not the answer you want from me. Because I actually don't do anything to deter snakes at all. Even, yeah, if anything, like I'm okay with it as long as they're like not harmful snakes, of course. I do not want those in my garden, but I have not seen any like venomous snakes in my garden before. I've only seen like little tiny um, like garden snakes and things like that. And like I say, little tiny, like typically they are like little tiny. But if you are having a lot of issues, I know some things you can do is like sprinkling sulfur around. Around in the garden beds, like along the edges, so that kind of like repels them. They don't really like that. But again, like, I mean, I try to keep them in the garden, and I know that's not what you want to see, but they are helpful and they will help you with other things too. So I like this. Danny says, I talk to our snakes. I do too. Yeah, I absolutely do. I talk to everything. I talk to the plants. I talk to people probably think I'm crazy. That's probably how I can do these live streams, is because I can just go out in the garden and talk to snakes and stuff too. So yeah, I'm with you, Danny. Yes, I would not want any rattlers in the garden for sure. So, Harry, if you have any great advice, pop that into the chat on how you make sure that those steer clear of your garden. Because I have not, I better knock on wood as I say this, but I have not had any issues at all with like rattlesnakes. I haven't even seen a rattlesnake here in our yard at all. Um, but I have seen some bad ones, but usually they're like not anywhere near the garden. But that just happens when we have 5 acres of property. So um I love it. Yes, I love the birds too. Yeah, same here. Um oh, Donna was asking, how do you archive a garden and then retrieve it for the current year? I think I showed that done. I think that was a probably an older question, but um, again, like I can kind of show you here how it's done. So if you have plants in your garden bed, but you want to take them out and you want to archive them, you just tap the three dots up here to the right of the name of your garden, and archive garden, archive, and then up here at the very top, you go over to archive, and here's all the plants that are now archived that were in your garden bed before that aren't anymore. And as I'm in here, like I know we talked about like resizing and stuff, but you can also like rename your gardens too. So if you want to change the name of it or anything like that, or if you are just completely like getting rid of the garden too, or if it was like the seed starting area like right here, I might opt to archive the garden itself too. So like there's a bunch of options and stuff like that there that you can do. Oh, this is a good advice here for snakes. So I was told once to use a blast from a hose to encourage snakes to move along. Yeah, yeah, that seems totally doable. Okay, is it possible to get a filter for plant inside versus outside? Right now, it's just filtering plant now. Okay, this is a great question. Yeah, absolutely, and I do really like that option. So let me show you guys what we're talking about here. So under these growing guides, which I don't think I really showed you guys growing guides before. So um, in these growing guides right here, you can kind of go through and see like at a glance like everything about growing that specific plant. So has a little blurb about it, some videos that might include it, and then the planting times, dates, pretty much everything you would possibly need to know about it. It's all right there, including companions and enemies and all of that, and pests that you might see, health benefits. I mean, yes, all of that is right there. Um, so he was asking about these filters right here. So there's filters right here that you can filter by different things. So you can filter by these health benefits right here, or you have favorites if you have just favorites marked. Because right over here you can see like this little star. So I have some favorites that I have there. You can look at just your custom plants or ones that you can plant right now and look at those. I can also add some on top of it. So if I want to be plant now for Something that might tolerate some shade, I can apply right there too. So that right there, I mean, I love that. So if I didn't see exactly what I want to be like, I'll take that off. I can just exit off. But I do really like the option of having a filter inside versus outside. That would be super helpful. I love that. So I'll keep your comments started so I can come back to that at the end too. So I like this. Donna said I'm trying some fake snakes to keep squirrels and birds out of my pots. So far, they're working. So this actually, like, this reminds me. I was out there in the garden, like this last week, and my kids had like this play snake in the garden that they were playing with, and I guess they left it out there. And I don't think it was on purpose, but you never know. They could have been trying to get me. But they had a fake snake in there, and it definitely made us jump a little bit. I was like, oh, oh, okay. So if it works on me, it should work on squirrels and birds, right? Um, oh, so one other thing too, I want to show. Whenever I was coming in here, I thought of that. Growing guides. One of my favorite things about these growing guides is this recipe section too. So within like these growing guides, it'll show a bunch of different recipe ideas and things like that. And the summer squash zucchini, like this is my favorite recipe section because it can go through, like you can see all the ways that I love to use zucchini. And these are all ones that are tried and true right from my kitchen. And my kids have approved like all of these. They love, love, love eating all of these, especially like, and they ask me in the middle of winter, they're like, hey, can we make some zucchini brownies? I'm like, I don't have any zucchini. But yeah, that's their way that they get brownies. They're like, ooh. But there's so many fun and unique things that you can do with a lot of the things from the garden. And there's a lot of different recipes in here. And if you tap like this read more, it'll take you to a post on our website that gives you the recipe and walks you through how to do it. Some of them even have some videos and things like that too. So yeah, definitely some fun things there. Okay. I know I did not show you everything for sure, but I think that was a very good overview of it. And like I said, if you guys ever have any questions or anything like that, feel free to message me, feel free to email, or like you can come down here to the bottom, all of these socials. I'm always on them. Or you can up here too to this menu button and you can go to support. And right here, if you tap this support and help docs, it'll take you to a site that has my email address too for support, as well as like common problems and things like that. But it'll help walk you through like, yeah, all of that, like what to do. And yeah, you can always feel free to reach out and I'm always happy to help. So, okay. So if you guys have any questions, feel free, pop them into the chat. I'm going to draw a winner here real quick from the stream. So if you guys want any last minute entries, pop them in. Let's see. Sorry, it's just me today, so I'm kind of behind here trying to. It's always awkward trying to do this at the same time as being being live and talking to you guys. So done. Running. Okay, so this winner is going to get a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. So congratulations to I'm not going to attempt the name. So, because, yeah, I'm not going to attempt the names. Congratulations. So, send me an email at info@seedtospoon.net and I will get you all set up with your free premium. And yeah, excited for you. Hopefully, you'll get to see some new features and try some new things out. So awesome. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. And I'll see y'all next time. Hopefully, same time, same place next week. See y'all there.